A big hello to all the dignitaries and our highly respected, lovable professors. This is Amit. It's a privilege to welcome you all to panel discussion 1 of Envision 3.0, titled Digital Transformation Strategy and Governance. Let's start this segment by extending a warm welcome to Mr. Shivendra Ojha. Shivendra Ojha is a seasoned procurement leader with over 20 years of experience in strategic sourcing and category management across Asia and Europe. As director at Cargill, he leads global procurement for plant materials and services. He has had key roles at McKinsey, Maruti Suzuki, and Hero Honda, and is an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. Up next, we have the honor of hearing from Mr. Prashanth Murali Kaivar, Vice President at Genpact, our moderator, and a trailblazer in supply chain transformation. With 25 plus years of impact across industries and a commitment to nurturing talent, his insights are sure to inspire. We now turn to another respected voice in the field, Mr. S.K. Vijay. S.K. Vijay is the Divisional Head, Digital and AI at TVS Motor Company, with mainly 30 years of experience in manufacturing, supply chain, and digital transformation. He has led key initiatives in Industry 4.0, IoT, ESG, and automation, playing a vital role in modernizing soft floors and engineering systems at TVS. Up next, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Rajib Maitra, partner and executive advisor at Deloitte India and an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. With over 20 years of experience and 60 plus transformation projects globally, he brings deep expertise in mining, ESG, and digitization, offering valuable insights into the sector's evolving future. Get started.
Thank you. So I know you guys are going to IIT Madras at some point in time, and this topic is about digital transformation. So there's one person called Professor Geeta Krishnan Ramadurai. I don't know, maybe you know Professor. So he is great Uber that we have, right? He extended his concept to movement of freight, right? And he started a company called Rightmove, where if I want to move products from one location to another, I can go to the app and do it. It gives me all the analytics, it gives me all the information that I need to do it. How many people are adopting it is something of a discussion that we had a few months back. And that was a great discussion because everything to do with mindset and the adoption, right, with that somebody talked about in the morning. So I just want, that is something that I remember. And one thing that I know of for sure, as I've spoken to maybe 100 companies in the last 15 years about transformation, one thing that they say is what are the success factors for them to reach, achieve whatever they wanted to, is that they had the end in mind, right? How they envisioned how the end will look like. So start a transformation with the end in mind, otherwise when you end in the beginning, otherwise, right? So that's the point. So I think what we'll do is, I know we are running short of time, so this is going to be as incisive and focused as possible with such a great elite panel that we have today. So this is the flow of discussion. What we'll do is, I will ask the participants to, panelists to introduce themselves very quickly in the context of digital transformation that they are driving and give 1 or 2 examples of what digital transformation actually means. Right? We can take 3 to 4 minutes each. And then we'll go to the second round, we'll combine what challenges and what solutions we are looking at. Right? And we'll try to complete this whole process in maybe 20 to 25 minutes, not more than that. The last 5 minutes we'll keep for question and answers. Right? Because we are really up against the clock. Right? So we'll start with Vijay, maybe the whole context of supply chain, digital transformation, and how to proceed.
Very good afternoon. Hope I am audible.
Yes.
So I had manufacturing, supply chain, and now ESG part of digital transformation for TVS Motor Company. Mainly, my focus is to see that how do we digitally transform the company so that we'll have less wastages, more efficient. Then coming to what the digital transformation is there. I'll try to put it into 3 buckets. One is what is digital transformation for the front end, what is the digital transformation for the backend and what is the digital transformation for the supporting functions. Because all the three, when they come together only, total digital transformation of the company takes place. What is front end is maybe marketing, sales, all that will come in front end. And the back end support is production, what we call as the order fulfillment, supply chain, manufacturing, all will come. And support functions are finance, HR, all that will be the thing. The vision for digital transformation for the front end is how do we bring an excellent customer experience so that we'll have seamless sales. That is the main thing. Here what we'll be doing is how do we have the 360-degree view of customer, the time he gets into the website or the first touch point, and how do we lead him to the showroom, and how do we take the leads and make the sales pitch. It will be more personalized sales pitches so that they will buy. That is what we will do in the front end to bring the excellent customer experience end to end till he buys and then goes. And when it comes to the supporting functions, which is the supply chain and manufacturing, there mainly how do we see that whatever customer wants, like for example you go and try to ask one Apache red color, but how do I ensure that he will have whatever the customer wants intuitively? For that a lot of integration in the backend will take place. So we'll be working on many technologies, how to like avoid the waste, how to become efficient, how to give what customer wants on time. That's what is the main thing, what will be digital transformation in manufacturing and other thing. Then last one is the support functions. Support functions is how do we give what before the company wants, because unless you make the people who are in the front end back end to work comfortably, they may not be. Like for example, how delighted you will feel a person leaves and next day you will find another person coming to you. So for them, how to automate the processes, they will use technologies like blockchain and other thing. Maybe manufacturing will use the digital twins, then digital data threads, zero defect products, and SKU mixes. All that will come in this one. This is the digital transformation as we pursue for our company in the context of automobile manufacturing.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Shivendra. In my current role in Cargill, I focus on procurement, and Cargill is a large food manufacturing company. So I focus on the digitalization both from the procurement technology point of view, how we can digitalize procurement, and also from the manufacturing point of view in terms of making our plants more productive, better quality, higher uptime. So if you look at from the procurement point of view, there are large number of transactions, every plant is doing it, and it's about how do you bring the technology which brings better interface for the users, user experience, wherein they can seamlessly order with the minimal intervention from the procurement, try to automate it as much as possible in terms of bringing the right vendors to the users who want to use it, connecting the SKUs or what they want to buy with the pricing agreements that we set up. In terms of contracts, in our earlier session, it was mentioned about how do you look at the large contracts and use the technology in terms of evaluating those contracts from the risk point of view. So procurement, there's a big opportunity. How do you make it on one side efficient by bringing out your human intervention and making more user friendly. Another is how do you bring the risk management in terms of, say, bringing the technology in the contract management, pricing management, and those areas. Another aspect is the manufacturing, and this is where I partner with the business operations team. Is like, where do you need digitalization? And it was mentioned earlier in the session that it starts from the business. So digital transformation means, to me, what enables or helps you to achieve your business strategy. It's not the other way around. I still remember when I was a student, professor mentioned about how a very tech-obsessed CTO becomes a CEO for a manufacturing company and how it can go wrong. That doesn't mean that CTOs are not good, but it's about digitalization is not a strategy itself. It comes from the business and the business strategy, and when you go to the plant locations, it's not about, oh, I saw a very good tool, digital twin, and we want to deploy it. It's about what's problem that you want to solve. Do you want to make it more efficient? Do you want to automate it from manual to automation? Or you would like to go for an APC or advanced process control wherein you are able to optimize the process, you reduce the energy, and you improve your yields. So for me, these are the important topics when you talk about digitalization, both from the procurement point of view and from the manufacturing point of view.
Great initial insights. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So I think I'll just put a different perspective to this different perspectives to the entire digital transformation, and more from a, I would say, consultant lens. Of course, the previous the panelists over here spoke about from a business lens, but I think if I look at it from a digital transformation, we have a framework which is called Imagine, Deliver, Run, which is first we imagine what should be the roadmap, how should we go over the digital journey, and of course, a lot of cases we have multiple use cases. So typically what we do is we tie up the business challenges with the use cases, and then we kind of evaluate where the impact is higher from a business challenge perspective in terms of the value, benefits, and we also look at where we are ready. There can be two types of readiness. One is the technology is ready. Some of the cases, like for example, spatial computing or some of the new age technologies. The technology may not be that matured. Some of the cases, the organization is not matured, right? And thereby we kind of do a 2x2, which is basically the benefit value and versus readiness point of view, and thereby we have a roadmap. And then the next part is the pilot, POC, and we implement, and then we scale up and sustain. So this is typically the Imagine, Deliver, and Run model. What I have seen and across doing digital transformation is there was a term called Industry 5.0, which talks about people, right? And I have seen across organizations, the most, I would say, I would not say neglected, but it's not given that much focus, is around the people adoption. So we do a lot of organizations, they go about technology. The focus is on technology, the focus is on either newest technology and how do we implement, etc. But I've seen organizations, and that is where I've also driven programs, which is around the entire adoption, culture, capability building. So essentially what happens is, there are two examples of organization, large conglomerate. They have implemented digital, they have implemented say 6-7 use cases or 8 use cases. Barring 1 or 2, people have not at all adopted. It's just the technology implementation happened, a few hundred, millions of dollars have been kind of spent, and benefits are not there. So what is important is, besides the technology and of course the architecture, in terms of how scalable the architecture is, how are we looking at a platform centric model versus a point solution model? Because a lot of cases people say point solution, and ये कर दिया, एक थोड़ा सा point solution बना दिया, यहाँ पे डाल दिया, but it's not integrated. Clients have come back to us say that मेरे पास 20 solution है, but I don't have a uniform view. Right? That is one thing, the platform view versus a point solution. The second is, my people they are not ready to adopt. They will appreciate that is the technology going to change their life. For example, we did a project with a client, but the CEO has said that, look, we have spent X amount of crores in implementation. I am not getting the benefits. People are not using it, and it's just a sort of I would say showcase. So what we said, went to the shop floor and asked that, you know about this solution, we have heard about it, but how is it going to change my life? Is that particular use case going to change my life? One of the maintenance operator, I said, what is your motivation? Besides, of course, throughput and all those things, enhance availability. He said, I want to spend more time with my family. Can the technology help me do that? Can I solve some of the problems or the machine problems remotely so that I can spend more time? So I think what we have a concept of WIFM, which is what's in it for me. And we, when we do our technology implementation, we start from the people side of things. Ultimately, our people need to drive the technology. It's not the other way around. And then there are 4 aspects of culture capability. One is, of course, the entire capability building in terms of training. So we have done AI-based training and other technology training. The second is communication. Third is governance, in terms of what sort of governance we have, cadence, and what sort of. And then last is, of course, looking at, do we have a people, set of people who are the main champions who want to train people in the organization. The TTT model is very impactful in our digital transformation. And then we have a set of digital champions who are going to be the ambassadors for this. Because at the shop floor, there needs to be a supervisor who is going to say, this is going to change your life, this is how it is going to impact you. Right? So there we have a framework in that also, culture and capability framework. And we follow that. It has been immensely successful. We have seen, we call a term called, let of people talk of technology quotient. We have a term called digital quotient, right? The DQ. The DQ for our organization, now we have a 9-point scale, and we call it, there's a particular scale we typically use. The DQ moves substantially once we have done this program for 1 year. So I think that is what I want to talk about.
Rajib, great insights. You know what you did? You actually moved this discussion several notches up, and I'll take some time to come back to you because you're already up there, right? Because this is the great certain points I got from this first round, right? Let me spell it out so it'll be easy for you. See, one is, and Shivendra, you talked about procurement, right? I think on the one hand, for example, we are saying no PO, no pay, coming from the top, right? What's coming from the bottom? This is what technology does. Self-service. Can I also do something on my own, right? You have to have the empowerment, and that comes to the people part that you talked about, Rajib. And I think one talked about people, which is very important, their roadmap and running a pilot, right? And prove that it can have a snowballing effect, right? And when you do that, I think the first thing is, how do we go back to the drawing board and design a digital transformation, right? Because that takes care of everything, right? From the point that this is going to release value or unlock value in a certain way through that roadmap. You're also creating a business case, right? By investing so much, I'm going to get so much result, right? So it is tech for value, as I call it, and also people. One thing that I've seen, because you talked about change managers and change evangelists, right? I think it's also important to have what I've seen people calling deep persona mapping, which if I make a change, are you happy about it? Are you not happy about it? Can we do this in a different way, right? In a digital transformation, from a customer experience point of view, as you said, Vijay, also from a user experience point of view. One last thing that I just want to share is my own example from consulting in Japan for this company, and you will see it when you have this Japan visit. There are a lot of vending machines, right? For example, Coca-Cola has 50% of its retail sales happening through vending machines, a deep part of their culture, right? So there is, 5 years back, there's a person with a paper and pen in his hand trying to, there are 1.4 million vending machines in Japan, right? Coca-Cola has 1.4 million vending machines. 0.1% cons off on it. That means 1,400 vending machines have gone off, right? The button is not working, the thing is not working, right? Goes street to street checking, right? But now, we have what is known as a control tower, which gives predictive insights. So it's a digital work order automation. People can find out this. I'm a field engineer. I know these are 7 points where I will have a problem with. I can plan for it. My spare parts, my planning of people, all that. So we took a long way, and whatever you mentioned, Rajib, in terms of people and challenge, right, was to create that business case in the first case, and then get leadership support and have also self-service to manage. This one example that I want to share. So I think coming to the second part of the discussion, Vijay, I think we'll spend a little time on, I know we just have maybe to wrap up in the next 10 minutes for this and then last 5 minutes for this question and answer. The challenges that you have faced and how did you go about solving it?
One is already to some extent Rajib has touched upon. What kind of projects to take? Because everybody will say make digital transformation. But the main thing will come, how do you decide what kind of project I have to take? Whatever I am speaking is out of my experience. Maybe or may not be there anything. normally we get into say like what is my company's priority. Don't go beyond the priorities what companies have. Just for the namesake, we should not do any tech projects. For example, we did some AR, VR kind of projects which never got adopted as such. So then what we decided is, what is the company's priority? For example, we want to grow our market share from this to this, and I want to do this project. So you do the project where that is there. Like for example, I want to sell Apache to the highest. Then what is the adoption problem? There I can use AR, VR. So always we try to align our digital goals with respect to business goals. That is one thing always we keep doing. Never go beyond that. That is one. And second one is the trends that are happening. In that, which trends to pick? Because you will find, no, today you saw so many plethora of tools, techniques, all that is available. But you cannot take all at once. Then how do you choose what it is? Always we go in two steps. One is you try to see which is the most matured one. What is matured? Like already people are using, they are getting benefit. Put your all energy, time, money in that one. Don't go beyond that. That is the second point. So put your energy there only. And third one, it doesn't mean that we should not try any new technologies as such. For that we will make a POC, very small group of people, maybe one or two, with a startup. We will take and then do it. This is the three things we follow. That is, align your goals with the company's goal. Digital is not separate, it is a very much of it. And get into the ROI, find out whether I will be able to get, which KPI I am going to fulfill, whether I am going to reduce the waste, whether I am going to increase the quality, or whether I am going to supply the things in time. So align with mission as well as KPIs, ROI, that is one, and startup kind of thing only we will try. This is the thing what normally we follow whenever we want to align like which kind of digital projects to take as such. So this is one what I wanted to take.
I think you have hit all the nails on the head. You said KPIs, you talked about the engagement part. Absolutely, great points. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shivendra.
So yeah, he covered quite a lot, I mean comprehensively, but I would say three things. One is typically in organizations the cross-functional alignment. This is where the soft skills of the people are really important, wherein you align with the people, maybe make the right sponsor, does it address your concerns, the people involved, and create a cross-functional alignment. The second thing is capital or money. At the end of the day, all ideas are good. Who is going to invest in it? And do we have a right return on investment? And sometimes you don't need to invest your own capital, and you create the other commercial models in which you say, you bring the solution, you are confident, we pay you outcome-based fee. So the capital is the another challenge wherein people are not sure and they don't want to invest money, and in the current environment, capital is getting more and more, less available. The third one is you should be having the right partner. You don't do digitalization, everything on your own. You don't have all the capabilities. You may need some good consulting partners, or you may need the producers like the companies who produce the digital products to make sure that it's successful, and not only on a price base but on a total cost of ownership, not like you buy today and you end up paying your service, software fees, high maintenance costs, etc. So three things. One is cross-functional alignment, second is the capital money, and third is you should have the right technology partner to make you successful. Thank you.
Great insights, Shivendra. I think one thing that's coming out very specifically from this is the commitment and the governance that is required, right? And all these points will get covered in that, because your business case also creates, the stronger the business case, the probability of this succeeding is much higher, right? In digital transformation. And it's, the ROI is one, and then the payback period. And who owns the outcomes? Right? There are people, you have one part of the outcome, he has one part of the outcome, I have some other part of the outcome. How do we drive those specific parts of the outcome, and only then should we reach the final point of convergence, right? So Rajib, with that, I think we'll start concluding, right? Any conclusive points which are like 2 or 3 very important for this batch here that we need to do? in terms of digital transformation, what is needed to make it successful? Some concluding remarks.
I think I spoke about people. I'll not delve into further. I think very important when we do that. I spoke about imagine, deliver, run. Right, the deliver part, we call it as MVP, which is the minimum viable product. I think lot of cases people say, okay, let me do the final product, which is the best, optimized, etc. In digital transformation, there's a saying, and of course it's a cliche one, but it's important that I would say if you want to fail fast. Right? So I think that's important. So basically scale up, scale quickly, fail fast if required. The scaling part is important, and the minimum viable product is very important. And we have seen that because at the end of the day, MVP also lead to the user acceptance, that whether the user is okay with that. That's one component I wanted to talk about. The second component is any digital transformation. I think he spoke about the partnership, but I think today in today's scenario, you cannot do it alone. Even with a SI partner, like system implementer, but you need to have a group of or ecosystem of partners. Somebody will bring the hardware, the sensors, for example. Somebody will bring your the applications. Somebody will bring any kind of the startups. For example, startups are very important. Like a lot of people do hackathons. So one of our clients, as a part of digital transformation, we actually ran hackathons because and a lot of these ideas came from institutions like IITs and of course IIMs and other technical institutions. So running these hackathons, partnering with startups, partnership is a very important term in digital transformation, and that is how. And their partnerships can also happen in training part. So for example, as a part of this capability building, we actually ran certification programs for our client users. They were certified, given certificates on AI, given certificates on analytics, certificates on IoT, etc. So partnership is the second most important one. Is MVP, the second is partnerships. Third, I think it's very important is sponsorship. Lot of cases, the leaders in the organization, because digital is a journey. I mean, if somebody is saying that, look, I have gone with a certain KPI, like for example, one of the implementation we did, the CEO said there are 3 KPIs: efficiency, EBITDA, and there was safety and 4-5 KPIs. We have to hit those KPIs and get some benefits out of it. A lot of cases, what happens is the benefits, they don't come very quickly. An organization, they are very impatient in terms of benefits as well as benefit delivery. So so I think the sponsorship is going to be very important, and the leaders of the organization need to be cognizant that this is a journey which is going to take time, and of course with the right governance in place, this can be successful.
Great points, sir. Thanks a lot, Rajib. Anyway, I think if you want to summarize in 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, we'll finish the next one.
3 points. As I
Say the word, that's also.
One is the way we do the the digitalization is normally you start with computerization, then you will go for visualization. That is whatever you have put, then you will connect the different sensors. Then you do the analysis, then prediction, then autonomous. But the thing is, in order to do all this, your basic process should be very strong. If you have a very unstable process and you try to digitize it, finally you will end up in not digitizing as such. So the basic thing is, first point is always, whenever you want to do, study the process in detail, existing process, and refine the process before getting into the digitalization. That is the first thing. And second thing, as I said, don't do anything which is not a part of your bigger plan. Like you should have a digitalization, transformation kind of plan for your company, which is already aligned with mission vision. See that is there with respect to that, it is there. And third one, as I said, Like if customer does not want, then better not to do that kind of projects. These are the 3 learnings what I have with respect to this today.
Great points, thanks Vijay.
Okay, a lot is already covered, but I think for better this class, important is how you can understand the business, how you can understand the challenges, and how you can help to resolve those challenges, to help those challenges by bringing the digital tools. You don't need to be expert in the digital tool, but your business understanding really matters a lot for you to be able to bring the right partners, right sponsors for the solution.
Great points, Rajib. That was absolutely wonderful. I think you covered it all. You know, the way you covered everything together. You brought whole thing together. And Shivendra and Vijay, I think we'll conclude this. I think 2-3 points from what you said. One was about
I just want to acronym.
Yeah,
I think-
please, if you take.
So I think the 3 acronyms
30
for me is
seconds.
PPP, which is, of course, it's the non-marketing PPP, triple
Yeah.
Ps. It's about, I would say, problem-oriented. That's first P. Second P is partnership. Third P is people. I think these are the 3 things I would say are very important for digital transformation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. You said, you can't do it all alone, right? And you said the same thing in different words. I think RASI, I think one thing I found very useful through my years of consulting is that people don't kind of decide who does what in this whole thing, right? You can't simply, you have to be very, very true to your heart. People may not like it when I say, you will do only this, you will do only this, and you will do only this, right? But that is what is going to, and then put it on a very good governance framework and drive it. And the 3 Ps, great, absolutely wonderful. We will come to the conclusion of this. I think it's about people, value, and process. You said, I think that's a great point. I think remembering these points, keeping that as the framework for you, I think will help you navigate through any type of digital transformation. And this is one is of course we have all gone through some journeys, but I think this is a discussion which can continue to perpetuate. Right? I mean, this is a lot of discussions to be made about people, process, technology, etc. So we conclude this session, and if there are any questions that you guys have here, we'll be happy to take.
So the one key takeaway for this session is like every company is viewing digital from the business lens. That's a good thing. But from the customer's lens, how do you see? I want to see an integrated ecosystem. So where companies are looking at in case of creating an integrated ecosystem, just like how Amazon has created a seamless ecosystem, or how iPhone and iOS has created. So where do companies see, or is creating an ecosystem the next step to digital transformation? So what's your thoughts on this?
In any case, customer is at the center only. Like the business cannot survive without customer. Like for example, we spoke about the 360 degree of the customer. Like when we focus on digital project, it is the where he approaches from, where he starts. Because customer is in center, if he is not there, nothing is there as such. So the first, when the company puts its targets, business, everything, it is along the customer only. So we design all the digital project with respect to customer in center. Customer means not only external customer, even internal customer also. For example, the next process, whichever is there. For example, if I am doing a efficiency monitoring project for production, then we will see which are all the sections which are responsible, and with respect to his requirement, his alignment only it has to be done as such. So it is very, very necessary to see that customer is in center, business is only supporting it as such.
Yeah. Louder. Somebody give him a mic.
Regarding in blockchain or supply chain digitalization, its main prime the prime goal is it's not only the company which is doing it, along with its supplier and multiple layers of it, tier 1, tier 2. Like in achieving this, it's because we know that different companies are in different phases. Some company may be in the 3.0, some company in 4.0, 2.0. We get to know in concept, it's okay. In ground level, what are the main challenges you are facing and how you are resolving that. like to know on ground levels what is actually happening.
So when you say ground level, what can you just expand on that question a little more?
Means how the means if you take blockchain, every company has to have the right technologies to get it done. If some company does not have the facilities or the multiple tiers of the OEM, how they coordinate? If the companies in the downstream does not have the technology, then how it makes possible?
So that's where you need to evaluate whether, say, you have the, for example, the hype cycle, right? Whether blockchain is really needed for this solving this problem or not. And you will have to evaluate very deeply. That is one. How ready is your partner ecosystem to be able to drive that, right? I'll tell today, okay, I'll have an onboard diagnostic on my trucks, 5,000 trucks running in Karnataka, right? But are they ready to do it? Who is going to invest, right? So one is readiness. Other one is how is the process going to work at the ground level, at the lowest, right? I go from here and take a step. That has to be documented also. That this is the step that guy is taking, right? But I think you touched a very important point. For example, you said use blockchain, right? The usage of blockchain today, there are several usages. I have a few use cases as well. But do I really need a blockchain to solve it? Right? That's the question fundamentally we need to ask. And do a 360-degree view analysis of people, process and technology to be able to answer that question. There's no magic wand to say, I'll use this and then we'll get the answer. Okay.
I will add one point. What you said is a very practical point because we wanted to do a supplier like transformation. When we went to suppliers, we found that many of them they have only one computer for the whole company itself. So it is very important to assess them and coach them and take them along with us. That will become very, very important. How to give a basic infra for them. And in some cases what we have done is we will help them in infra, setting up the infra, but they will not build any tools or so, will not implement. They will be given kind of terminals. For example, we will create a software. They will go to the web browser and open and only enter the readings. That kind of thing. Or else we have supplier development teams which will sit them and they will integrate small IoT devices which will give us the data as such. Actually, it is not possible. The manufacturer alone can go up and say that I will do digital transformation. We have to take them along with us to whatever the extent. But as I said, we will categorize them into platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and we will have a plan how to move them from bronze to silver, silver to gold over the years. That is the plan we have. It is not any digital transformation you see, it's not a 6 month, 3 months plan. It is normally we will chalk out for 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, that kind of plans only it will be there in place. It's a journey, it's not a single day destination.
And if it is a very large complex which you alone as a company cannot influence, sometimes you need government policies, sometimes you may partner multiple companies to build up the ecosystem and uplift it, because you as a single company may not have the influence to say, I will digitalize everything, right, to bring those transparencies. So these are more complex, but these are the ways people are able to build on it.
I think, Professor, showing the, asking me to crack the whip, I think we'll
Thank you.
because I know this is a discussion that can go on forever. We are available here for discussions, post this session also. Right? Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, I must say the discussion was very insightful. My sincere thanks to Mr. Prashanth Murali Kaivar for so eloquently moderating today's session, and to our distinguished panelists, Mr. Ojha, Mr. Vijay, and Mr. Maitra for generously sharing your insights and experiences. This conversation has offered compelling perspectives on how organizations can navigate the journey of digital transformation with clarity, purpose, and resilience. From strategic alignment and change management to governance, frameworks, and data-driven decision-making, the discussion illuminated the key pillars of our successful transformation. You have reminded us that digital transformation is not just about adopting technology, It's about redefining vision, empowering people, and embedding governance that ensures sustainability and trust. On behalf of everyone present, thank you for your time, clarity, and the inspiration you have sparked. We live today more informed, more inspired, and truly wiser.